So Mike Pence got lectured by a cast member of Hamilton who was alarmed that a Trump administration would not protect the rights of minorities. Where has this bizarre notion that Trump poses a threat to black people, Hispanics, and other minorities come from? Throughout his entire public life, Trump has tried to help the African American community. Jesse Jackson even praised him for it on numerous occasions.
Your rent package for people on Wall Street who represent diversity, and we thank you for coming tonight. Let's give Donald Trump a big hand. In terms of reaching out and being inclusive, he's done that too. And a will to risk to make things better and opportunities to embrace the underserved communities. Donald Trump.
More blacks, Latinos, and Asian Americans voted for Trump than they did for Mitt Romney. More black people voted for Trump than they did for John McCain or George W. Bush before that. When Trump explored a run for president 16 years ago, he had a 67 to 21% favorability rating amongst blacks and a 62% favorability rating amongst Hispanics. Isn't it amazing that Trump only became a racist when he ran as a Republican? Trump says he wants to reinvigorate the inner cities and lift black people out of the cycle of poverty, family breakdown, and violence. Meanwhile, under Obama, more black people are living below the poverty line. The number of African Americans on food stamps has increased 58% under Obama.
On every leading economic issue, on the major economic issues, black Americans have lost ground in every one of those leading categories. So for the last 10 years, it's not been good for black folks.
Is this how the left helps black communities? By making them poorer and more dependent on government. 93% of black homicide victims are killed by other blacks. Race relations are at their worst in decades. 8 years of Obama has been devastating for the black community. Yet we're told that Trump is the problem. What about gay people? Trump has vowed to protect the LGBT community from a fanatical ideology that represents its biggest threat, radical Islam.
As your president, I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens from the violence and oppression of a hateful foreign ideology. Believe me.
And at the RNC, he went off script to acknowledge euphoric Republican support for that message.
And I have to say, as a Republican, it is so nice to hear you cheering for what I just said. Thank you.
That was not part of his original script.
No, that last line was not.
Trump even waves rainbow flags around on stage. When was the last time you saw a Republican doing that? You didn't, because it's never happened before. He also said Caitlyn Jenner could use the bathrooms in his buildings anytime she wanted.
Okay, last week, Donald Trump said I could take a pee anywhere in a Trump facility.
Trump is backed by Peter Thiel, one of the smartest and most successful gay public figures in America.
I am proud to be gay. I am proud to be a Republican. But most of all, I am proud to be an American.
Compare this to Ted Cruz, who shared a stage with someone who literally wants to execute gay people.
Yes, Leviticus 20:13 calls for the death penalty for homosexuals.
After he was elected, Trump said that he wouldn't try to revoke gay marriage.
Do you support marriage equality?
It's irrelevant because it was already settled. It's law. It was settled in the Supreme Court. I mean, it's done.
Is this a man who hates gay people? So what about Hispanics and Trump's horribly bigoted and racist agenda to control illegal immigration? Turns out that that policy is endorsed by the majority of Hispanics. The most recent poll found that 49 to 36% of Hispanics support the deportation of illegal immigrants. Think about it. If you'd waited months, sometimes years, to go through the arduous process of legally emigrating to the country, how would you feel? These people have worked hard, they've built businesses, they did it the right way, only to see millions of people cheating by pouring in through the back door. The majority of Hispanics also think that too little is being done to enforce immigration laws. Why do you think Trump won Florida? because he was backed by more than a third of Latinos.
I'm so proud. I'm Puerto Rican myself, and I'm super proud to be able to vote for Trump.
I have a problem with people coming illegally. They need to tell us who they are.
We don't want corruption to come in here. We don't want drug traffickers. We don't want people bent on committing crimes. Who doesn't want to get rid of those people?
I am very happy about the wall, and I hope it does happen. I mean, if you're going to come to my country, come here legally.
Dr. Juan Torres, who waited 10 years to become a citizen.
They broke the law. When I came to this country, I came through the front door.
Dear blacks, Latinos and gays, no matter how much moral panic the left tries to manufacture, there's no evidence whatsoever that a Trump administration is going to persecute you. If you're a law-abiding citizen who is in the country legally, you have nothing to worry about. And it's kind of funny that some on the left have tried to smear Trump as literally Hitler, given that Trump used to bash conservatives like Pat Buchanan as Hitler lovers. The idea that Trump is this bigoted, racist Hitler reincarnation is clearly a contrived media hoax. He isn't even a social conservative. Please, don't be swallowed up by the hysteria that a Trump administration represents a danger to minorities. It doesn't. This whole Hamilton narrative is a complete fraud. Don't be a sucker. Don't fall prey to their fear-mongering. And think for yourself.